This weekend on April 5th, it will mark the inaugural weekend, the very first weekend of Rock the Country Festival, a festival that is highly anticipated with an incredible lineup. As we know, Kid Rock and Jason Aldean will be headlining this festival throughout all year as it travels across small town America. This weekend in Gonzales, Louisiana, you got Hank Williams Jr. also joining the bill. As you can see, it is just a lineup of stars. Gonna be a really great time. And to promote this festival for this year, Kid Rock recently went out on a little bit of a media run where one of his stops was with the very hilarious, very well-respected comedian Theo Von. And what we have to share with you today is a little bit of what Kid Rock and Theo Von talked about throughout their interview, which was the current border situation within the United States. As we know, Kid Rock does not shy away from his political beliefs. He will talk about them. Of course, he's open to talk about his political alignment with Donald Trump. And we're going to go into what both of these gentlemen had to say about this situation. Kid Rock did dive pretty deep into detail about, sharing his thoughts with the current border situation in the United States. So let's go ahead and jump right in and hear what Kid Rock had to say. When the two first started talking about it, Kid Rock mentioned that I got a place there in Jupiter, Florida on the beach, and effing illegals washing right up on the little island I live on. Like several times. That's been going on for like 5 years. Now, it's getting a little bit worse. Haitians and stuff, just washing up and trucking through the neighborhood. They're like, everyone lock your houses down. I'm like, most of them are not trying to rob people. They're just trying to get the fuck away. Like, get in, whatever, it's crazy. Now, Theo Von interjected here where he said he recently had a Border Patrol agent on his show not too long ago and learned that 4 times more people are coming into the country than they were since the year of 2020. Kid Rock, of course, expounded on this and went into more detail on the border. Here's what he had to say. Kid Rock expressed that it was bananas and that it was insanity. He also went on to share that his belief is because of the more people coming into the border at a higher rate, that he does believe that there may be a high possibility for an event to occur in our country. But he did make it very clear that migrants are needed in the United States. He says, which we need. I grew up on an apple orchard. I used to pick apples with these people every season. A lot of them would come up, go back, whatever, and we need them. We need great migrants. I think Trump's spot on. We want the good ones to come. We love them. You're great. Most of them Mexicans, South Americans, most of them are Christians, God-fearing. They want to work hard. They want a better life. Like, great, man, let's figure this out and get them over. But we can't just let MFers just keep cruising across the border. Now they're coming from everywhere. It's just insanity. Kid Rock even touched on what it's like for him to go to another country outside of the US and deal with their border protections. He says, every time I go to Canada, I get fucking detained. These people are just like cruising across. He says, here's a phone. Where do you want to go? Let's get you a plane ticket. I don't know. I feel like we're beating a dead horse. I feel like people's minds are kind of made up about this shit. Now, Theo Von did interject here, presenting another thought to Kid Rock about this subject and saying that it's not necessarily us just talking about it over and over again, but looking at the possibility of it having an effect on someone who lives in this country, which there are thousands who still do believe in the American dream and maybe feeling worn down that the hope for that is lost. Kid Rock said, yeah, we might want to make sure, we want the American dream to be alive and well for everyone, especially ones that come to this country, but we want to make sure that the dream is alive and well for people who live here, for our working class. He concluded by saying, growing up in Detroit, the auto industry, and, being very close to my father at a dealership, that was very successful, and all my buddies, their parents worked on the lines or worked for Ford, Chrysler, or one of the stamping plants, manufacturing things or cars. And back then in the heyday with whatever was going on, you could work at Ford Motor Company or whatever, GM, and your house was paid for. You had a cottage up north with a boat, maybe a 66 Chevelle or something in your driveway. And we need to get back to that. But, you got to get things under control with inflation and everything else because, you call the Democrats hate what the Republicans do, cutting taxes. They call it trickle-down economics because now, the rich are getting richer. It's like, it's kind of part of the American dream. That's how shit works. You want to support capitalism. Yes, there is going to be some bad actors and monopolies that sometimes need to be broken up. This is where Kid Rock interjects and says, Ticketmaster? He then continued and finished out by saying people should have that opportunity. And now just real quick to focus on the Ticketmaster issue that Kid Rock brought up. I mean, for some time we have seen that Ticketmaster pretty much does have it seems like they have a very large control of all ticketing operations for shows. We've had, you've seen it to where people complain about the ticket fees, and pretty much you just have to go through Ticketmaster to get your tickets, to go to what show you want. And then of course you're dealing with all the fees and the upcharges as things come in for demand for these tickets. And yeah, so, him bringing up Ticketmaster is definitely something that has really had fans in an uproar. And I don't believe that Kid Rock's the only one there who, has that thought about Ticketmaster. But again, like I said, it's not uncommon for Kid Rock to have these conversations or debates with people throughout interviews. We've seen him on Tucker Carlson before. He is very outspoken when it comes to this stuff. And this time, this is what he had to share about the border. And of course, guys, we would love to hear y'all's thoughts on this down below in the comments as well. That's your latest update here from CountryCast. Remember to hit that subscribe button down below so you never miss out on any breaking news and updates.